Paul Ryan here at the PH Miracle Center. I'm sitting with Felicia Kafori, the mother of Chancellor, who just sat here, and the inimitable, incredible genius, Dr. Robert Young, and we're talking about Chancellor's amazing growth within 3 days. He's been here at the PH Miracle Ranch. He's off insulin, and for you as a mother, it must have been a tough journey in raising. He said he's had diabetes for 6 years.
Yes,
So from 4 to the age of 10.
Right. We went to the hospital. Turned out that Chancelor was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Were there symptoms that led up to you going to the hospital?
Yes, yes. He actually had a cold that week, and then he had urine. He was urinating often, and I thought something was wrong. I thought maybe I'd go and ask the doctor if there was maybe a virus or something going on, and they tested him, and then it turned out his blood sugar was about 1200, and we immediately went into ICU. We stayed there for 2 weeks, and they transitioned us to a diet that they said he would have to eat this way. And
what was the diet?
Oh, it was not a healthy diet.
It was not Dr. Young's diet.
No, it was not. But they gave us lots of insulin to go with it. They told us how to do the program, and it just so happened I was had an opportunity to. Well, my father had type 2 diabetes, and actually, to be honest with you, that was the day that my father he died. As a matter of fact, and so that day, when we went into the hospital, was his funeral and everything.
Wow.
And so it was. I think that's what made me really want to make sure that Chancelor didn't use medicine to correct his blood sugar from what he ate. You know, he would always. My father would eat and just take insulin to cover the food.
Wow.
Right. I think he had renal failure, and he had a stroke, and so it was not good at the end for him. So when I found this out, of course, I wanted something different for Chancelor.
Our children are our future, and if our children are sick, what is our future going to be like, or their future going to be like? And so it concerns me that diabetes is an epidemic worldwide. That concerns me. Because of lifestyle and diet. Diabetes has increased significantly over the years, and it has a lot to do with processed food, food that's high in sugars, and some of those sugars are artificial. The increase in eating animal protein and how congestive animal protein is. And so the combination of a high carbohydrate, high sugar diet with all the protein that kids are eating, they can't break it down, they can't digest it, they're getting constipated, and their tiny little bodies are being ravaged by acids that are coming from these types of foods, and it's destroying their root system, and it's causing weaknesses in all of their organs and organ systems. And so, you know, I realized what a serious problem this was when I was down in Trinidad many years ago, and we were speaking to a large group of people there, and over 50% of the people in the room were diabetic. I thought to myself, there's got to be a different way. I mean, we look at people like the Pima Indians down in Arizona. 2 out of 3 of them are diabetic, and there was no diabetes with the Pima Indians. But now they're being subsidized by the government. Their food is being sent to them. They're being sent, animal proteins. They're being sent processed foods and breads, and they used to be farmers. They used to grow their food and eat from the land, and that has changed. And from that change, these people are sick, and this is what's happening to the world. There's too much consumption of processed food and animal proteins, and it's literally destroying the gut, and that's what I believe is causing diabetes.
Share with us your experience of being here at the PH Miracle Ranch.
Well, just in the 3 days, just what I've learned and felt, because we've actually been doing the cleanse for about 14 days. Then we arrived here, and then, of course, we got coached, I should say, and understanding, you know, how it works and the things we don't understand, like, you know, what our body really lives on, the electricity, and, you know, and the minerals in the diet, and the opportunity, you know, one, I'm grateful for it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
To understand, not just from the book, but to hear it and taste it and see how simple it is, because we complicate things.
See, the word diet has a bad reputation. There should be a better word.
Well, the better word is lifestyle.
Right.
It's a way of living. It's a
Right.
way of thinking. It's a way of eating. It's really not a diet. It's the way we live on a daily basis. People ask me all the time, "Is this the way you eat?" It's absolutely. This is the way I eat. I mean, you know, it's the healthiest way to eat, and exercise is a very, very strong part of the overall program too, as well. But you know, diabetes is not a disease. It's a symptom of overacidity, and its focal point is not the pancreas. The focal point is the bowels. It's the gut. And when we start healing up the gut, the root system of our body, the pancreas can do a better job to help support the alkaline design of the body by releasing insulin. And beta insulin producing cells can start functioning again. And we see changes in the A1C. We see blood sugars coming down. In fact, we see low blood sugars, and that was probably one of the things that you were probably amazed about. Is we're not dealing with high blood sugars, you know, which indicates, you know, the diabetic symptom. But what's happening is, which happens more in type 2 diabetics, is low blood sugar, where I can't take any insulin, you know, because that'll even throw the blood sugars down even further.
Right.
And that was one thing that I realized, is that blood sugar is just a metabolic acid that the body's trying to get rid of, and it contains no life force. It contributes to no energy value to the body, and you know, when we start this alkaline lifestyle and we start focusing on perfect health and fitness, by maintaining the alkaline design of the body, regardless of what age you are. So with diabetes, realizing that it's not a disease, but a symptom of an environment that's not healthy, that if we can clean up the environment, kind of like if a pool the pH is off and it becomes polluted, if we can clean up the pool and raise the alkalinity of the pool, then we can get rid of the algae and the germs and the bacteria and the debris. You see, now it's pristine, but we have to do that on a daily basis. So yes, we took Chancelor off chicken, which is one of the major contributors to diabetes. And we took Chancelor off dairy products because the lactose and the lactic acid is produced, which is a major contributor to diabetes. And we put Chancelor on substitutes. So if we're going to take something away from a child, we got to give something back. Well, what do I eat now? So we take away vinegar and we give you lemons, okay? You know, so if we're taking away meat, okay, we have to give something back too as well. Well, what do we give back? Or those foods that all the strongest animals in the world eat. Grasses and green vegetables, you know, and so we substitute that for removing those acidic foods for more alkalizing and replenishing and rebuilding foods.
And he's drinking 4 liters of water a day?
Yeah, not only drinking 4 liters of water, but alkaline water with a pH of 9.5, and not just 9.5 green water, you know, because we're putting more chlorophyll in there.
He's putting Dr. Brock's in there?
He's putting Doc Brock's in there and some salts in there, because that's what the body needs to stay alkaline. And then we're detoxing the gut, you know, and healing that up. And as that heals, then voila, you know, he's off insulin, where he's taking many units. Now it's going down to no units. And the reason why is because his blood sugars are normalizing. Because his metabolism is normalizing, his gut is functioning, his bowels are working better. And when they don't work, and they get congested, then blood sugars are going to increase.
So you have 5 other children besides Chancelor? So now how do you transition all of them and yourself and your husband to make it all work?
Well, it definitely had to be a family affair.
Yes.
So I think when we all went into the lifestyle, thinking about Chancelor and not leaving him on his own. And
you probably feel better yourself now.
oh man, we we all immediately lost at least 20 or 30 pounds, my husband and I. Mm-hmm. And of course, after having kids, you have that weight on. And then, my other kids, of course, they just got a lot of energy, and you know, they can see the difference in the other diet and this lifestyle. So,
so for other mothers and fathers who were out there, and they don't know about this, and they're raising their kids on junk food and fast foods, what do you tell them?
This is so simple. The thing that they just need to do is to make a decision that they want to be the leaders of their home, that they want to teach their children how to have a healthy lifestyle, you know, a lifestyle where they don't have, you know, like my son is 16. He doesn't have to worry about pimples and things that kids his age are worried about. You know, he's just a different
I just turned
person.
16, so I'm worried about pimples
Don't worry
myself.
about those things.
Okay. The media has to catch up with this because we're living in a pop culture where they're writing and reporting about inane topics. And when you talk about substance, like your health, it's like, oh, really? I mean, I spoke to one journalist once, and she said, oh, we don't really write about that. And I'm thinking, hello? This is the mainstay of life. So how do we shift what we're reporting in the media to great news about health?
Well, I don't know if I know the answer to that question because I'm not in the media other than how they respond to me on a personal level. And I think a lot of it has to do with their lack of understanding. Mm-hmm. But when they listen to what is being said, they get excited about it. They say, well, this is definitely newsworthy. I mean, reversing type 1 diabetes is newsworthy. Mm-hmm. Okay? Whether you're doing it with one person or what we've done for thousands of children around the world in reversing type 1 diabetes. I don't mean to be cavalier about it, but the reason it comes off my mouth so simply is because it's a reality. It's what's happening. Mm-hmm. And the reason it's happening is because mothers, even more so than fathers, mothers are so concerned about their children, they don't want to see their child suffer. They don't want to see them in pain. And surely they do not want to see them having to take insulin shots for the rest of their lives. This program is very simple, and the beauty of it is it works. Mm-hmm. And the reason it works is because it's based on true health principles, which are based upon maintaining or restoring the alkaline design of the body and understanding that when the body is congestive and cannot eliminate its own waste products, when those start backing up, this is when we get sick. And for a young body, when we look at what children are eating today, I don't think there's any mother in the world who would put their common sense hat, and fathers as well, and say, the food we're feeding our children today is good. I mean, it's not. And that has to change. And so I have a perfect example of a beautiful woman and mother here who's had 5 children. Who would ever thought, you know, looking at her, that she's had 5 children. And look how beautiful her skin is. She radiates. And the reason she radiates, and her eyes are bright, and her skin is bright, and you know, her teeth are beautiful and bright, her smile is great, and she has all this energy, is because she's eating God's food. Mm-hmm. She's eating the foods that we were meant to eat. Mm-hmm. Not what man creates, but what God has created for us, mm-hmm. and at the foundation of life. All the green foods, green vegetables, green fruit, not processed foods, not hamburgers and French fries, you know, not shakes, but food that's made for us that will build our blood and restore and maintain our health on a daily basis. All disease is nothing but a manifestation of our lifestyle and dietary choice. And the same thing can change. If you want health and fitness, then you can choose that. So now we're down to not medication, we're back to education. It's not about medicating our children. It's about educating and empowering our children on how their body works and how to take care of it.
So if we're closing on what we started off with, your dad, do you wish he knew?
Oh, definitely.
He probably does.
I wish he knew. Yeah. I actually have a nephew right now that just was diagnosed.
Yeah. So all you need to do is educate and empower that family, you know.
Exactly.
But if anyone out there has type 1 or type 2 diabetes, or now they've got type 3, you know, I mean, we'll just keep typing them. You know, the bottom line of this is there is a cure for this condition.
Absolutely.
And
so thank you, Dr. Young, for being the miracle and the pioneer for sharing this knowledge.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is Paul Ryan with another great story right here at the PH Miracle Center. So congratulations to Felicia for being open to bringing her son Chancellor to the PH Miracle Center, and for Dr. Robert Young being the gift of all of his knowledge and sharing it with us. Thank you for watching.